Imagine a future where the moon doesn't just light our nights, it powers our entire civilization. No fuel shortages, no blackouts, no fossil fuels choking our planet. Just endless, clean energy streaming straight from the lunar surface to Earth. This isn't science fiction. It's the audacious vision of Maxwell Chikumbutso, the inventor whose ideas have already defied the laws of physics as we know them. But this time, he's aiming higher, 384,400 kilometers higher. Maxwell Chikumbutso, the Zimbabwean inventor who stunned the world with self-charging electric cars, radio frequency power generators, and even a helicopter that runs without fossil fuel. His work has often been met with disbelief, and yet, time after time, his prototypes prove the impossible possible. Now, his latest blueprint takes his genius beyond Earth, a lunar energy relay network, using satellites and advanced RF transmission to beam power directly to our planet, 24/7. The concept is daring but rooted in cutting-edge science. Here's how it works. Step 1. Build vast solar collection stations on the moon's surface, where there's no atmosphere to block sunlight and no nighttime to interrupt the harvest. Step 2. Convert that solar energy into high-frequency beams, possibly microwaves or laser-based transmission. Step 3. Relay those beams through a satellite network to Earth-based receivers, which instantly convert them into usable electricity. In theory, this system could generate and deliver terawatts of clean power, far beyond the capacity of all current power plants combined. On Earth, solar panels face clouds, weather, and the cycle of day and night. But the moon's position and environment mean uninterrupted sunlight for days, or even weeks at a time, an energy engineer's dream. By building the first lunar power stations, Chikumbutso's plan sidesteps our planet's limitations entirely. The result? Power that never stops flowing to homes, factories, hospitals, and even electric vehicles anywhere on Earth. But this vision won't be easy. Lunar construction requires advanced robotics, space mining for raw materials, and political agreements to share or secure the technology. And Chikumbutso isn't the only player. NASA, China, and private space companies are already eyeing lunar energy projects. The race is on, and whoever wins can hold the keys to a new era of global power. If Maxwell Chikumbutso can pull this off, humanity will have done more than solve the energy crisis. We'll have turned the moon into our ultimate power station. The question isn't just whether it can be done, but who will get there first. Chikumbutso's plan isn't just about putting solar panels on the moon. It's about creating a self-sustaining power ecosystem. The lunar stations will be built using materials mined directly from the moon's surface, reducing the cost and complexity of hauling everything from Earth. Titanium-rich lunar regolith could provide structural strength, while helium-3, abundant on the moon, could even become fuel for future fusion reactors. The energy relay itself would operate on a constant cycle. Lunar arrays capture sunlight, convert into directed beams, transmit them to a chain of satellites, and finally down to massive Earth-based receiving farms, where the energy becomes electricity ready for the grid. Every stage of this chain will be automated, monitored by AI, and protected from interference. But make no mistake, this isn't just a technological leap. It's a geopolitical game-changer. The first nation or entity to fully deploy a lunar relay network wouldn't just control an energy source. They'd hold a lever over the global economy. Imagine a single power hub that could provide, or cut off, electricity to entire regions of the planet. For developing nations, access to moon power could mean bypassing centuries of industrial pollution and jumping straight into a clean energy future. For superpowers, it could be the ultimate strategic asset. Of course, not everyone is convinced. Critics argue that high-frequency energy transmission over such vast distances is too risky, citing potential interference, atmospheric scattering, and even weaponization concerns. And then there's the political silence. Major governments have neither confirmed nor denied discussions with Chikumbutso. Some suspect that if his technology truly works, it may already be under quiet negotiation or quiet suppression. Behind the polished press statements and visionary speeches, a quieter war may already be underway. Powerful energy conglomerates, whose profits depend on fossil fuels and centralized grids, have the most to lose from an infinite, decentralized power source. For them, Chikumbutso's moon power network isn't just disruptive, it's existential. Whispers from inside the industry suggest lobbying efforts to slow space-based energy policies, covert funding of competing projects, and even attempts to discredit the inventor himself. In this game, technological genius alone isn't enough. Survival means navigating the labyrinth of global power politics. There's another danger: sabotage in orbit. The satellites that would form the lunar relay chain could be targeted by cyber attacks, physical strikes, or deliberate collisions with accidental space debris. And unlike power plants on Earth, repairing an orbital link requires months of preparation, billions of dollars, and flawless precision. In the age of space militarization, the moon power network could become both the greatest gift and the most vulnerable target humanity has ever built. Meanwhile, the competition isn't slowing down. Reports indicate that China's Chang'e program has quietly been testing long-range power beaming experiments, while private players like SpaceX and Blue Origin have filed patents for lunar-based energy infrastructure. Chikumbutso's vision, once mocked as impossible, is now sparking an international space race, one where the finish line is not Mars, but a power station on the moon. And in this race, the winner won't just plant a flag, they'll plug in the world. Then, quietly, almost without notice, Chikumbutso made his first move. Not a press conference, not a flashy investor pitch, just a launch manifest quietly filed with a private aerospace partner under a nondescript project name, LNR-1. LNR Lunar Network Relay. Sources suggest this payload isn't just another satellite. It's a prototype, a small-scale test of his lunar power beaming concept. If it works, it could prove to the world that energy from the moon is not only possible, it's ready. But in the shadows, others are watching. Intelligence briefings, leaked to select media outlets, suggest multiple parties have taken a sudden interest in the LNR-1 payload, and not all of them want it to succeed. One aerospace security expert even hinted that a rival group may attempt to intercept or disrupt the launch, using means that could be denied, disguised, or buried under layers of plausible deniability. Now, the countdown begins. The launch window is just weeks away. For Chikumbutso, it's more than a technical trial. It's a battle for credibility, survival, and the future of global energy. If LNR-1 clears the atmosphere and proves its relay link, he will have opened the door to an era where no one, no nation, no corporation can monopolize power again. But if it fails, the moon power network may vanish into the same file cabinet as countless other too radical ideas, lost for another century. Ignoring the anomaly for now, Chikumbutso's team pushes forward. The relay antenna deploys flawlessly, aligning with a test receiver station in Namibia. The first pulse of lunar mimicked energy is sent, and the station's instruments spike. Confirmation. The system works. Cheers erupt in the control room, but they don't last. The signal suddenly distorts, breaking into a scrambled mess of static. A burst of interference slams the receiver. Not natural, but deliberate. Somewhere out there, someone doesn't want this technology proving itself today. And in the cold silence of space, that unmarked object drifts closer to LNR-1. As the interference continues, Chikumbutso's lead signal analyst notices something strange. The static isn't random. It's carrying a repeating code, a sequence of tones that, when filtered, reveals a chilling, synthesized voice. Chikumbutso now faces an impossible decision: abort the test and save the hardware, or push forward and risk provoking whoever, or whatever, is out there. The team debates, voices rising. Every second counts. Orbital mechanics leave no room for hesitation. Finally, the inventor himself leans forward, eyes locked on the live feed. Continue the transmission, he says. If they want to destroy it, they already would have. LNR-1 reactivates its beam. The energy pulse stabilizes. The Namibian station's instruments climb again, and the mysterious craft simply hovers nearby, as if watching, recording, measuring. Then, without warning, it fires its thrusters, disappearing into black, vanishing from all sensors within seconds. The test completes successfully, but no one in that room celebrates for long. Someone knew exactly when and where to appear. Someone wanted Chikumbutso to know he was being watched. And now, the world's most ambitious energy project has a new invisible opponent. The Moon Power Network is no longer just a race for technology. It's a chess game played in the shadows of space, and the opening moves have just been made. Weeks after the orbital encounter, Chikumbutso announces a bold escalation. LNR 1 was only a proof of concept. The next phase, LNR 2, will be the first direct energy capture from the moon itself. No simulations, no mimic signals. Real sunlight gathered on the lunar surface and beamed back to Earth. To make it happen, he partners with an unlikely ally, a small but highly advanced space robotics company known for building autonomous mining drones. Together, they plan to land a self-deploying solar field on the moon's south pole, where sunlight falls for months without interruption. LNR-2's lander isn't carrying astronauts. Instead, it holds a swarm of spider-like drones. Upon touchdown, they will spread out, anchoring panels into the dust and connecting them through a central relay tower. The location is no accident near Shackleton Crater. The rim is bathed in near-perpetual sunlight, while the interior hides deposits of ice that could one day support human outposts. If Chikumbutso's network succeeds here, this site could become humanity's first permanent lunar power hub. But there's an unspoken tension. After the LNR-1 incident, security has doubled. Communications are encrypted. Flight paths are classified. Only a handful of people know the exact launch date. And yet, in the quiet corners of mission control, some wonder if secrecy will be enough. If the mysterious craft knew about LNR-1, will it, or something else, show up again? This time, the launch is under a moonless sky. The LNR-2 vehicle rises like a blade of fire, piercing the black. Hours later, it slingshots toward lunar orbit, carry with it not just a machine, but the hopes of the planet. Every eye in mission control is locked on the telemetry. So far, flawless. And yet, deep in the background static, the signal analyst hears something familiar, the same repeating tone sequence from before. As the craft begins its ascent, the repeating tone intensifies, the pattern now mixed with faint bursts of what almost sound like coordinates. The control team logs them but says nothing publicly. No one wants panic before touchdown. Through the final kilometers, the lander's thrusters fire in perfect rhythm, kicking up clouds of dust as it settles near the rim of Shackleton Crater. A cheer ripples through mission control, but Chikumbutso's eyes are fixed on the screen, tracking those mysterious coordinates. The drones come alive, each one deploying panels that glitter under the sun's unfiltered light. Data streams in, power output climbing, relay alignment holding steady. The first direct lunar energy beam to Earth is just minutes away from activation. And then, one drone breaks from the program path. Not a malfunction. It responds to an override command that didn't come from mission control. Following the override, the drone heads toward a section of the crater wall that appears, on official maps, as just shadow. But the feed shows something else, a metallic glint, half buried in regolith, shapes too precise, too engineered, to be natural rock formations. As the camera steadies, the truth sharpens into view, a structure, faded markings, panels like ancient solar arrays, but not from any human mission. Chikumbutso leans forward, his voice low. Zoom in. The feed tightens, revealing alien geometry, dust-coated but intact. The coordinates hidden in the interference, they led directly to this. Suddenly, the beam alignment data begins to fluctuate, not from the deployed arrays, but from the buried structure. It's activating. The structure emits a concentrated burst of energy, far more powerful than anything LNR-2 could generate. Instruments on Earth light up with readings off the charts. And then, in the same synthetic voice from the first warning, a new message cuts through the static. In moments, the buried structure's glow intensifies, casting long shadows across the crater. LNR-2's instruments scramble to keep up, recording power levels no human grid could contain. The drones, still tethered to the lander, begin relaying fragments of the transmission back to Earth. Languages or data beyond human comprehension stream across the monitors. And then silence. The glow fades. The readings drop. For a heartbeat, It's as if nothing happened until the deep space sensors catch something impossible, a faint, deliberate reply signal coming from far beyond the reach of any known probe. Mission Control tracks the object inbound, trajectory perfect, speed increasing. In less than an hour, it will reach lunar orbit. No known vessel matches its profile. Chikumbutso watches in silence, then turns to his team. "We wanted to power the world," he says softly. "Now the world is about to be powered by something else entirely. The Moon Power Network was meant to change humanity's destiny. But in awakening the structure, Chikumbutso may have unlocked a door no one knew existed, and whatever's on the other side is already stepping through."